Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and this is another episode of Merch Corner. We're going to talk about real world items related to Dead by Daylight that you can buy. And we're going to start out with Dead by Daylight's own official shop here. They have a couple new items that was noticed by a friend of mine, and they pointed them out to me. And that would be the Crow Heart Pillow and the Crow Heart Hoodie. I had not seen those before. This is the design for the Lovebirds charm that we got on Valentine's Day, and they turned it into a little throw pillow, or you can get it a hoodie of that. I might buy the pillow. The hoodie isn't for me, but as always, this shop is chock full of merchandise here. If you want to have a look, I'll have the link to the Dead by Daylight shop if you want to check it out. It's shop.deadbydaylight.com. So I wanted to start with that. Next, we're going to move into the Wiccan Skull Candle collaboration with Dead by Daylight. Their newest offering is the Wraith, our latest DBD collab. Smells like crushed dreams and creeping shadows. Our scents are killer. Get them here, wiccanskull.com/deadbydaylight. And if we go in here, the Wraith candle is ginger clove and musk scent for $20, or you can, pick a bundle. They have all of, let's see, this one is sold out here, but they have, the previous scents as well as the Hex Totem room spray still available. That's the new offering. But the primary reason why I brought you here today is to talk about the Dead by Daylight comic book debuting from Titan Comics in May. Now, you're going to want to put it in a pre-order for this. I would say do not rely on your comic shop to order it on their own and then come looking for it in May. This is the reason why they're talking about it now, because it's in the previews catalog, which is what the comic shop owners use to put in their order for months down the line here. So they need to hear from you that you're committed to buy it early so that they can order it. In today's climate with inflation and not everybody having as much extra spending money as normal, comic shop owners are going to be reluctant to take a flyer on something that may not sell, and they'll stick to the things they can rely on, like Batman and Spider-Man comic books. And they may not order this Dead by Daylight comic book at all, especially if they've never heard of Dead by Daylight. So it's going to become very important for you to put in a pre-order or contact your comic shop owner locally and say, what do I have to do to get you to order this for me? Etc., etc. So let's read through this. Look out for Dead by Daylight prequel comic issue number 1 from Nadia Shamas and Dylan's Nook art with Emilio Leche. I apologize if I butchered anybody's name there. Witness the terrifying origins of the Legion in comic book shops May 23rd. If they order it, right? So that's why it's important for you to use the comic shop locator, find your local comic shop, bring them up on the phone, and tell them you want them to order this and what would be required to get them to do so. So, each issue of number 1 is going to have a unique code in it that you'll be able to use to redeem for a charm in game of Dead by Daylight. It may look similar to the cover of the first issue. It says example charm design. It might not be exactly like this, but it's going to be a comic book charm that you can bring in-game of Dead by Daylight here. Comes with unique in-game code. With every physical issue of the series, readers can unlock an exclusive in-game charm featuring cover A using the unique code you'll find inside the comic. Now, it's going to be one of those 30-character string codes. It's not going to be like DBD comic book, something like that everybody can use. It's going to be a unique code, one per use for each comic book. So if you want this code, you're going to have to use your own, you have to buy your own comic book for it. Here, let's read a little bit about this on the Titan Comics website. Behavior Interactive's global phenomenon horror game comes to comics, written by Harvey Award winner Nadia Shamas, who worked on Miss Marvel before, and illustrated by Dylan Snook, The Blue Fall. When the rebellious Frank crashes into the lives of Julie, Joey, and Susie, together they unleash bloody chaos onto the sleepy, dead-end town of Ormond. Witness the terrifying origins of the Legion. Teen angst, anarchy, and adoration combine for a perfect violent storm of a comic. Compelling, familiar, yet original characters make this the ideal jumping on point for the next big horror franchise, Dead by Daylight. Behavior Interactive's global phenomenon horror game comes to comics. Okay, yeah, well, we read that, right? All right, why is that repeating? Okay, on sale May 23rd, but you can pre-order it now. So we have this article from comicbook.com. First look at the Legions comic revealed. Dead by Daylight's first venture into comic book begins in May with Dead by Daylight #1, set to hit shelves on May 24th. And when it does, we'll see the story of the Legion brought to life, a 4-in-1 killer in Dead by Daylight comprised of a group of angsty, murderous teenagers. Titan Comics will publish the book, and Dead by Daylight developer Behavior Interactive hopes this is just the start of what's to come as far as comic adaptations go. Covers for Dead by Daylight's comic have already been shown off by Titan now that pre-orders are open, and now comicbook.com can offer an exclusive first look at 3 pages from the first issue. To accompany this early preview of Dead by Daylight #1, we spoke to Behavior's head of partnerships, Matthew Cote, to learn about why Behavior is opening with the Legion and what we can expect from the comic. Cote said back when the comic was announced that the Legion was a perfect candidate for the game's first comic, given that they embody themes of teen angst, rage, and revenge that a fleshed-out story can build off of. Dead by Daylight has plenty of killers and survivors to play off of, but the Legion is unique, and in the sense that they're not especially supernatural like the other characters, they're much more of a horror slasher archetype. Cote hopes this makes the first issue a bit more approachable and intimate for readers. So we thought we'd start with something that is sort of self-contained and something that does not necessarily have ramifications throughout the whole of the Dead by Daylight universe. Cote said, we wanted to really focus on a story that's a little more intimate, a story that's a little more relatable, and obviously it's got touches of supernatural and things that are bigger than you can comprehend, but it's still very much teen angst. It's a very relatable story, hopefully not too relatable, but at least a little bit relatable. Cote acknowledged that the killers, like the Clown, the Huntress, and the Trapper, are characters people strongly associate with the game, but the Legion's composition of 4 characters making up 1 killer made for a unique opportunity to tell an origin story and kick off the Dead by Daylight comics. And the first series will indeed offer us a look at the origins of the Legion. That story is something Dead by Daylight lore buffs will already be aware of if they've spent time learning the backgrounds of the characters, but Cote said this canonical version of the Legion's origins will expand on their story. We're not changing the story. This is very much canon, Cote said. So you're going to see and read things that you've read or seen in some of the cinematics and some of the deep lore that we've provided, but obviously it's going to be expanded on. There's going to be a lot more context and background and a few key elements that were not mentioned before. Behavior and Titan also provided the following synopsis for the first Dead by Daylight comic to prep readers for the Legion's origin story. So we read this before, right? Yeah, when the rebellious Frank crashes in the lives of Julie, Joey, and Susie. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, yeah, that's the end of that. Okay. So, next thing here, I want to let you know that there are multiple covers for this first issue. This is something that's commonplace in the comic book industry. They print multiple covers. The interiors will be the same comic through and through, just different covers, just to entice additional purchases. And I'll leave it up to you whether you decide how many of these you need. So the first cover is this one here. That's the standard cover. That's cover A, they call it. Then we have cover B, cover art by Chris Sheehan. That's cover B. We have cover C. Just says the game cover. So this, I guess, is taken from the DLC. This is cover C. And then we have cover D by Lezemek. And then we have cover E by Dylan Snook and Emilio Lecce. And finally, we have cover... Oh, I think there's a G too. Cover F. This is the red blank sketch cover. So, you know, if you ever go to a convention and you met a Dead by Daylight artist, you could perhaps ask them if they would put a unique sketch on your blank cover here. That'd be pretty cool. And then finally we have G done by Jay Lee here. Cover G. So all of these covers are available. I'll leave it up to you, to decide how to pursue these, but you would contact your comic shop and tell them that you want whichever covers you want. You would do that by going to the comic shop locator website here, and you can type in your zip code in the United States to find out where your closest local comic shop would be, and contact them and put in your pre-order. Again, I can't stress highly enough how important it is to you to express that you want these on a pre-order rather than going into the store in May and just hoping that they have it. If you live in the UK, you can use the Forbidden Planet website, which allows you to pre-order all of these directly from the Forbidden Planet website, and you can pick all of the covers and just add them all to your basket here, all 7. So, yeah, the comic's coming out in May, but I cannot stress enough to you how important it is for you to pre-order this if you think you want it at all. I've rubbed shoulders with comic book shop owners for many, many years, and I know they use the previews catalog to go through and put in their orders, and things that they're not sure of how they'll sell, they may skip them entirely or order a very low amount. Especially if your comic shop owner has never heard of Dead by Daylight, it's important for you to contact them now while they have the previews catalog in hand, and they can put in their order to lock in how many they want to get shipped to them in May now, so that they'll be waiting there for you when time comes. But that's all I have for you today. I'll have the links in the description for Comic Shop Locator, Forbidden Planet, Wick and Skull for the candle, and the Dead by Daylight shop for all of that. But I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that this comic is coming, and if you're a cosmetic collector, you want to make sure you don't miss out on this charm, and you can only get the charm with the purchase of the comic book with the code inside. Now, I believe this is a mini series. I think it's 4 issues, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's a one and done. I think it's going to be a series of comic books. So now, whether the subsequent issues 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, will have more charm codes in them remains to be seen. But this is the starting point here, and you have the option to just get one comic book and lock in your charm, or if you want to get this as a collectible related to Dead by Daylight, you want to get all 7 covers, you'll be able to do that too. But I'm providing you with the information now because it's important to know about it now. All right? That's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, I appreciate the time that you spend here with me on my channel. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. And we'll see you next time. What do you think about this comic book idea? Are you like, wow, I can't wait. Just give me more comic books on all of the Dead by Daylight characters. I can't wait to see a long-standing partnership with Titan Comics, and they can't print enough Dead by Daylight comic books for me, or meh, it's not something you're interested in, you just buy it for the charm. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your opinions on all this. That's all I have for you today. Thanks so very much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.